Jeff Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm joined by my son, Henry.
Hello.
And we're here to preview the quarterback position for the 2021 fantasy football season. We have been previewing the positions the last few weeks. We already did running backs and receivers. Now we're up to quarterbacks. Henry, are you excited about talking about this position?
Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about this position today.
Yep, you can watch this, I should say, in our draft guide, also on our main page as well, on all the football home pages. But we have all these previews displayed in our draft guide. You can get that app, or you can just go to freedraftguide.com as well. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel here that you're watching this great video on. Henry, quarterback position, pretty exciting one this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very exciting this year. You got a lot of good second-year players and a lot of new quarterbacks entering the game this year.
Yeah, definitely. Before I get to that, though, I want to talk about the quarterback position, our strategy for it. I did not want to forget to mention that we have all sorts of drafts going on all the time here at RealTime Fantasy Sports. Go to rtsports.com. You can sign up for our commissioner product. We do a great job of running your league. Or if you just want to get in a secondary league or multiple secondary leagues, you can sign up for money leagues on our site as well. Different price points, different formats. We have championships to our best ball championship, fantasy championship as well. Just go to rtsports.com, sign up for one of these leagues today, and give us a shot. Okay, Henry, let's talk about the QBs. Quarterback position. So fantasy wise, how are you approaching the position? Are you going to go early? You're going to wait? You're going to wait really late? How do you want to attack the quarterback position this year?
This year, I don't think you're going to go right away and get one of the top guys like Mahomes or Wilson or Kyler. I think I'm going to wait a little bit and get one of the middle tier guys, someone like Burrow or someone. That's how I'm approaching it this year.
I'm kind of the same way. You're not going to see Mahomes on my roster. I just don't feel comfortable taking a quarterback that high. I don't think the scoring disparity is enough between Mahomes and the middle tier guys to not take a running back or receiver early, and get a position that's not quite a sure thing. I'd rather do that. I feel better about getting quarterbacks late. I feel a lot better about platooning them as well too. I like to get two guys in the middle rounds and platoon them based on their schedules. That's kind of was my approach last year. I had some success with it. I do have a guy in mind that I like to take early out of that top tier group, and I'm going to talk about him in my targets. But for the most part, I'm like you, Henry. I'm probably going to wait on the position a little bit, platoon guys, and that's going to be my strategy for this coming season. Okay, so let's talk about some players and some targets. So we're going to talk about targets, guys we're avoiding, sleepers, and rookies. First one, targets. Henry, let's talk about some players that you're looking at getting this year. Give me your first target.
Joe Burrow. I love his targets. They had T. Higgins and Boyd, and now they're adding Jamar Chase to that. That's a very, very solid wide receiver core. And I think he's a great second-year player that this year he's ready to emerge and have a phenomenal season.
I like Burrow too. So I just tease this a little bit. So if I'm going to go early, I'm going to get Justin Herbert. I just love him this year. He had just a huge rookie season, one of the best seasons ever for a rookie quarterback last year, 9th overall in fantasy quarterback scoring, and he didn't even open the season as a starter. He got some offensive line help, receiver help as well. I just think he has that it factor. I love him. I think he's capable of being a top 5 fantasy quarterback, and I can get him a little bit after the elite guys, the top 5 or 6 guys. So I feel a little better about taking him at that spot. I just love Justin Herbert. So if I'm going early, that's my guy. How about another target for you, Henry?
Dak Prescott, yet another player with great options at receiver with Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and Michael Gallup. And he just had a monster season last year despite his injury. He had a great season. And Coach Mike McCarthy, he loves to air that ball out. They're going to be throwing the ball a lot, and I love Dak this year.
I like that call too, Henry. Okay, one more target for you, Ryan Tannehill. 2 straight huge seasons as the starter for the Tennessee Titans, 8th in quarterback scoring last year. I know everybody thinks they're a run-heavy offense, but Tannehill has a lot of success throwing the ball. Just got Julio Jones. They have A.J. Brown, Julio Jones now, one of the best duos in all of football at the receiver position. Again, I know we think of the Titans as a run-first team, but they will keep defenses honest with Tannehill and that great receiving core. I think he's a great spot starter you can get after those top 10 guys are gone or so. I just like Tannehill as a good spot play, a good platoon player for my fantasy lineup. Okay, flip side of that, Henry. Guys you're avoiding, guys you don't want on your fantasy team this year. Who tops your list?
Derek Carr. I hate his receiving core. All he has is Darren Waller and maybe Henry Ruggs. We didn't see much there. And his offensive line is a complete mess. I know they got Elijah Vera Tucker, but that's mainly the only piece they have in that offensive line.
Yeah, they lost a lot of offensive linemen this offseason. They kind of revamped that line. Some concern there. So a guy I'm avoiding this year, Henry, Jalen Hurts. I know it might be a little bit of a surprise. I just don't really trust him throwing the ball. I still don't like the Eagles' weapons at receiver. I know they drafted Devontae Smith. I still don't trust them. That receiving core, though, I don't think they're very good. I think he'll post some good numbers, but he's going to, because of his rushing ability, but I think he's going to be erratic throughout the season. And his price tag is just too high for me. His ADP at the QB spot is 10th right now. So he's going 10th overall quarterback. I think that's too high of a price personally. I would rather get someone like Tannehill or Justin Herbert around that spot. Okay, how about another guy you're avoiding, Henry?
Taysom Hill. I just hate him throwing the ball. He did not look comfortable. And I think after a couple of weeks, Jameis Winston is going to be the starter. And I think the Saints like to use Hill as more of a gadget guy, like to run with the tight end, wide receiver. He can do a bunch of stuff. I think they'd be more comfortable running than him there.
Okay, last guy I'm avoiding, Ben Roethlisberger. I thought he started to show some signs of decline last year. His arm isn't what it used to be. He doesn't throw the ball as well. He really struggled to complete more passes down the field last year. He averages 6.3 yards per pass attempt, which was the lowest number over a full season for his entire career. So he had struggles pushing the ball down the field. He's 39 years old. I know they have some good receivers, but I just don't trust Big Ben at this point. I'm going to go with younger options, more exciting players.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how about some sleepers, Henry? Some guys maybe you can get later, flying under the radar a little bit, you think could have a big season.
Sam Darnold. He's in a much situation with a lot better weapons this year, like Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, and Robbie Anderson. And Teddy Bridgewater was 20th in QB scoring in this offense, and it looked like he didn't have that good of a year. So if you throw a young guy like Sam Darnold into that offense, I think it'll be an elite offense, and Sam Darnold will produce.
Okay, a sleeper for me, I know he's one of your favorites, Henry Daniel Jones. Not a big Daniel Jones fan, are you?
No, I do not like him whatsoever.
Okay, but for me, I think if he's ever going to have a big season, this is the year. They added Kenny Golladay and Kadarius Toney as well. Their receiver core is pretty deep, in my opinion. Saquon Barkley's back from his injury. That's a big missing piece to their offense. I think he showed big fantasy potential his rookie season, 26 total touchdowns in 13 games. He can make plays with his legs. He has a big arm. I think he's going to have more confidence this year with better receivers to work with. I think he's a good late round grab for fantasy teams. I think Jones could really have a breakout season. How about another sleeper for you, Henry?
Tua Tagovailoa. I know many people might not like this take, but I very much like it. You already have Devontae Parker there. You add Will Fuller and you have Jalen Waddle, two great guys. We saw Fuller have a great season last year. And Tua got his feet wet last year, getting some few starts in at down the stretch of the year. And he can be a dual threat. He can run the ball. If he can throw the ball, I think he's a great player.
All right, my last sleeper, Carson Wentz. I think he moves to a very good situation for him. He has a top offensive line in front of him, solid running game. He gets to play for a coach that knows him well, and he had his best seasons with in Frank Reich. Remember, too, Carson Wentz had 28 plus touchdowns 2 of 4 seasons, so he is more than capable of the big year. I think a move to Indianapolis is going to be a good one for him. Another guy can get later in drafts and could end up being a really good fantasy player. Okay, rookies. Everybody loves a rookie, Henry.
Yeah.
A lot of good rookies drafted this year at the
Yeah.
quarterback spot. We definitely had some last year that played well. There's always those guys that have big seasons as a rookie quarterback. It's kind of been more the norm lately. It used to be kind of few and far between for a rookie to have a big year as they learn these offenses, but a lot of them are more ready to play right now and can make a big impact. So,
Mm-hmm.
who are some rookies that you like?
Trey Lance, he is super talented. We saw a lot of that from him in college. And the 49ers are going to build their offense around how he likes to do things. You got Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk, three great weapons. And he has the easiest playoff schedule for quarterbacks. So if you want a guy for the playoffs, he's the guy you want for the playoff run.
Yeah, I like Lance. I like that call on Lance, especially in your draft masters leagues or best ball leagues, as we like to call them, and leagues that are very deep and you can take 3 quarterbacks because Trey Lance does have a great fantasy schedule for the playoffs. So maybe you get in the playoffs and Trey Lance is starting and he could have some big numbers. I like that call, Henry. Okay, everybody's favorite rookie at quarterback probably this year is Trevor Lawrence, so I got to mention him. Just super talented. He's going to start from day one. He has all the tools to be an elite quarterback in this league. Terrific arm, accurate, can throw on the run. Just seems to have that it factor, that swag that you love to see, kind of like Justin Herbert. And the Jags do have some talent around him offensively. And the other thing is they could be playing from behind a lot because they're still not very good, in my opinion. So he could get a lot of chances to air it out, Lawrence. So I think he could have some big games this rookie season. Definitely worth a draft pick as a top number 2, in my opinion. Okay, Henry, another rookie for you. Anybody else you like?
Justin Fields. I thought he was very undervalued in the draft. I think the Bears got a steal there where they got him. And I'm surprised the Broncos didn't take him. I mean, he is super talented. We saw that at Ohio State. He is super talented as a pocket passer, and he can run the ball. He has a strong arm, and he got Allen Robinson, who's one of the best receivers in the league. I think he's in a decent situation. He also has Darnell Mooney. I think he's in a decent situation. I really like him.
Okay, last rookie for me, Zach Wilson. I don't love the Jets' weapons at receiver and offensively, but I love Wilson's talent. Man, he is just a ridiculous arm. He can make some amazing throws on the run. Great with the deep ball, has some players to work with there that can stretch the field in New York. Jets are another team, kind of like Jacksonville, could be playing from behind a lot. So that means Wilson's going to get plenty of chances to air it out. Plus, I hate the Jets' options at the running back spot. I don't think they're very good. They're going to be very good rushing the ball at all. So I think it's going to be Wilson's show. He's going to get a lot of chances to throw the ball on a weekly basis. Again, a good player maybe to get in these best ball formats, guys that, could be playing from behind, getting a lot of chances to throw the ball. Might not be the top name players as some of the elite quarterbacks, but guys you can get later in drafts that could end up producing big throughout the season. All right, Henry, that's our quarterback preview for the 2021 fantasy football season. You feel pretty good about what just went down here?
Yeah, there's a lot. We gave you a lot of great options, a lot of guys that you might want to avoid. And
yeah, definitely a deep class once again. A lot of talented quarterbacks out there. Don't forget to check out all this information in our draft guide as well. We have rankings in there, projected stats, bios, depth charts, all that good stuff. You can see that at freedraftguide.com. Download it on our app as well. So that's our 2021 quarterback preview. We have one more left, the tight end spot, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a couple days. Post that on the site as well. We appreciate you tuning in, watching another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. I'm Jeff Paur, senior writer for RealTime Fantasy Sports.
And I'm Henry Paur.
Have a great day, everyone.